altcoins just got big changes, and this is going to have a major impact on their price. And these are very large altcoins we're talking about today, and the impact is going to be to the upside. The first coin we're talking about today is Polygon. Polygon just has a major upgrade that's going to happen in the next 24 hours. They are switching from MATIC to Pol, and this is going to be happening within probably about 18 hours of this video coming out. But what is happening? Polygon switching to MATIC. Wait, MATIC switching to Polygon. I don't know what's happening. What do I have to do as a holder? Well, the first thing you have to do is absolutely nothing. First initial phase is Pol is going to replace MATIC as the native token for the Polygon network. So it's going to change in your wallet. It's going to change in Coinbase. You don't have to do anything. It's the next phases that are important and the price impact that's going to be important. Now, in the subsequent phases, the community can decide to expand the utility of the token, but that's not all, folks. There's a couple other things they can change here. They can change the annual emissions rate of Polygon. We are now going to a 2% inflation for this token. And I've heard 2% is pretty good target. So that is going to be the first thing you can change. The community will be able to change this percentage in the future. So it's becoming more of a governance token. The next change will be what happens with that 2%. Now the 1% is going to be set aside as staking rewards for validators. Also, the other 1% is going to go to the treasury, which will govern what to do with the initiatives. And hey, if you're a holder, you could take a part in this direction. Your voice can be heard. But the bigger question everybody's asking is, what is this going to do to the price? Can it reverse the downtrend? Well, we're going to jump into the charts because I have something that is very bullish for you. But wait till you see the next coin. Now, looking at the market cap of Polygon / MATIC, you can see it's $3.7 billion, but in the past, it was touching $20 billion. I've talked about how important that $20 billion range is. And folks, I think we're actually going to head back up to 20 billion. And, you're looking at a 6-7x, and that could just be the beginning. I think we could go a lot higher from there. Now, in this article talking about the price downtrend, they brought up a really good point. They say the next level of resistance is going to be around this $1.50 range. DZ's got another level of resistance. It's going to happen sooner than that. So let's look into the charts. The reason they're highlighting $1.50 is it was this local peak right here. Now we're looking at pretty much the entire price history of MATIC. So let's go ahead and draw out a horizontal line. If we look at the horizontal level and we zoom in a little bit, you can see this is a very important level. So 100% is going to reject around this $1.50, $1.58 range. You can see in the previous bull run how important a level it was, how often it acted as support, and in the early days it actually acted as resistance a lot as well. So resistance, support, just very, very strong level. And you can see it went there with Bitcoin's run up in the February-March range, and so I expect this to happen again. This actually preceded the Bitcoin pump by about a month there. So Polygon has a little bit of a unique price history. But DZ, you gave us a warning. You said the resistance is going to happen before then. This is where the real resistance is going to happen first. So we're going to go ahead and draw a trend line to identify this. And this trend line starts in September 2021. And if we run it here, you can see it just hits the tops of these peaks perfectly. And I think it's going to do the same thing. This is going to give us different prices depending on when it hits. If it happens within the next month, which I don't think is possible, but if it happens early October, you're looking at $1.14. If it hits at the end of April, that means MATIC is getting reversed at $1. That is going to be the first place of rejection. So this trending line to the downside is going to be where MATIC really needs to cool down. You can see how often it rejected off it against the past. I do think it will burst through it eventually, but it's going to have to knock on this door quite a few times. I don't think it just bursts through this long trend line dating all the way back to September 21. But let's talk about coin number 2. They also got a major upgrade, a major change, and I had to actually research how big a change this was. Folks, this really isn't on my radar. I'm talking about soccer. That is right. There's a huge Polkadot deal that just happened. They just signed with a major player you maybe heard of, Messi. Polkadot inks a major sponsorship deal with his soccer team. Now, if we go ahead and investigate the details here, it's actually going to be on their training gear. So the logo is going to be visible on all tops worn by the players and the staff during training sessions and pre-match warm-ups. But that's not the only thing. They're also going to have dynamic digital campaigns and interactive fan zone communities. Now, if you're wondering about this Leo Messi guy, who is this guy? Well, I know he was popular, so I went to ESPN. Who is the top player of the entire millennium? We're saying, all the players in the last 20 years. Number 1 is this guy. So we're talking about a major player, but that's just ESPN. What would Google say? Who's the best player known to man? Lionel Messi. So Messi, very, very famous player. Well, that's great and all, but tell me more about this interactive fan zone initiative. What's happening there? Is this going to be bullish? Well, to answer that, we got to look at their attendance. Do people actually watch these soccer games in America? Messi plays in Miami. And when we look, they actually sell out their stadium almost every single time. They have a capacity of 21,000 and they average 20,000, selling out many times. But not only that, they have several record-breaking crowds. They drew 72,000 here and 65,000 here. So this is a very popular team, and they're going to have very popular games. And I'm guessing this fan zone is going to be popular as well. So I don't see this just like, oh, 5,000 people will walk by this thing, 10 times in a year. No, this is going to be very interactive. We're going to have kids playing it. You're going to have, adults trying to learn more about crypto. Tell me what's on this soccer team jersey, polka dot. Tell me more. So I can see polka dot getting a huge advertising rush from this. Let's talk about the charts because that's really what's important here. Well, folks, I found another bull div forming. We've talked about these in the past. So we're going to look at this one and then what happened last time Polkadot got a bull div. So here we can see the price creating a lower low while the RSI, the relative strength index, created a higher low, meaning the market was pushing down the price, but really the market wanted that price to be higher. And so what happened last time? So we need to look at that to see what's going to happen this time with Polkadot. And to do that, we have to go to the last time the markets were oversold, October 2023. You see a lot of bull divs from that area. Then you see a lot of bullish price action after that area. So here you can see the price, a lower low, while the relative strength index created a higher low. Well, let's look at what kind of pump Polkadot had afterwards. Well, can someone say bullish? Because this is very bullish. Now, we're going to go ahead and measure the first pump. The first pump, you still got a 63% pump. That was a very short amount of time. But if you run it out a little bit longer, in a couple months, a little over, 164% gains for Polkadot, but that wasn't even all. They actually pumped even higher in March, and if we were to measure that, you're looking at a 230% pump for Polkadot. Now, Polkadot, I do think is going to be a lot higher this cycle, but what is Polkadot going to do? Well, we have the same situation as MATIC. Last cycle, it was a lot higher market cap than it is right now. Right now, we're only at a $5.7 billion market cap. And last cycle, it was around a $57 billion market cap. So you're looking at a 10x opportunity. Now, remember, we're in a bullish period. We're getting a bull div forming. I'm not saying we're going to pump 10x off this bull div, but I do think Polkadot is going to have a pretty good pump in the near future. As far as cycle top, that's going to be hard to predict, but I think we're going to have our first cool down period around the $20 billion market cap range. And with a $5.7 billion market cap range, you're looking pretty close to a 4x before, maybe you expect some severe correction there, any kind of severe selling. But I would be paying a lot of attention to the bull div forming here. And I'd be paying a lot of attention to Polygon as well. You can see it has a very strong support dating all the way back to April 2021. We might wick below it like we did a few weeks ago, but I don't think it's going to go much lower. I think both these coins are poised for better days ahead. I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I think you're getting in at a pretty good price on Polygon and Polkadot. So hey, I would keep an eye out on those altcoins, and I'll see you at the top.